Okay, so we've got a really interesting guest coming up shortly. Today is, I believe, National Pizza Day. If it were up to me, I could eat pizza every day. It's probably one of my favourite foods, but let's get more of an insight into, is there a perfect pizza? I don't know. I'm sure everyone's got their own preference, but Giuseppe Dell'Anno, who's going to come on board the show shortly and sort of share some of his insights into pizza. Who better to ask than Giuseppe about pizzas? Welcome to the show, Giuseppe. Great to have you on board. What's the rundown today? National Pizza Day. Tell us a bit more about the day itself and your tips on making pizza.
Well, as you say, I could eat pizza every day myself, to be honest, Jim. So, but I'm glad that there is one day in the calendar per year where we can use the opportunity to make some pizza or to enjoy some pizza specifically. I think that I'm not alone in considering pizza delicious. And probably the reason why it's so popular is because it's super simple to make, and also because it's super versatile. Effectively, pick their favorite toppings and make it their own, essentially. So I suppose that's what makes it so popular in so different parts of the world. It's a global phenomenon, effectively, isn't it?
No, absolutely, 100%, and for sure, it's like you said there, it's an acquired taste type thing, and for me, Giuseppe, my favourite pizza is pizza napoletana. I just, like beautiful, perfect to be fair, but each to their own. What's your sort of take on, generally what would you say is the most sort of popular pizzas in your experience?
So, if you go to any Italian pizzeria, you'll notice that there are a few staples, a few very popular combinations that everybody makes, and that's like the traditional margherita, then the quattro stagioni, the capricciosa, the quattro formaggi, and those you can find everywhere. But then you will also notice that each individual pizzeria has got their own special pizza that is allegedly original and different from everything else, and they usually boast quite exotic flavor combinations. Personally, I make pizza at home every Friday for the kids, but I tend to stick to simple. I think that simplicity is very much underrated these days. So I like to go for margherita. At best, I add some shiitake mushrooms on it. My personal favorite, which I make when I want to treat myself for whatever reason, is a margherita with cherry tomatoes and gorgonzola. It's a bit of a powerful taste, but it's absolutely delicious.
No, absolutely. And do you sort of, when you, just out of interest, Giuseppe, when you cook like pizza, like yourself, do you have a forno? I mean, how do you sort of do it? It's like just out of interest, really. Yeah.
Yeah, well, look, during the warmer season, I've got a pizza oven in the garden, and I like to use that one. So, bake the pizza in a wood-fired oven gives it an extra flavor, and also those ovens reach very high temperatures, which are critical for Neapolitan style traditional pizza. However, most times I make my own pizza into a standard domestic oven. The reality is that in theory, you want the temperature to be as high as possible, so the pizza bakes in just under 2 minutes, actually. But even if you do it in a domestic oven, it takes slightly longer, between 6 and 8 minutes. But if the dough has been done correctly, you're guaranteed to have a phenomenal result nonetheless.
No, absolutely. And it's interesting because, I suppose it's pizza. Everyone, like you mentioned there, different types of pizza. I mean, sometimes, I take go out for a pizza with my sort of children too, and we go to more sort of commercial places. Generally speaking, the pizzas at the more sort of commercial places aren't for me, but I'll go there, I'll eat type thing. But I suppose it raises the big one, the pineapple. I can't get my head around Giuseppe how people have pineapple on pizza, to be honest. But if they like it, good luck to them. What's your take on it?
I'm completely with you on that one, Jimmy. Yeah. So I'm very happy to leave it to the snobbish Italian chefs that live in the echelon of celebrityness to be offended by pineapple on pizza. Personally, I don't like it. I wouldn't have it at gunpoint, but if it floats your boat and this is something that you like, you should go for it. The thing is that authenticity is an elusive concept at best. So as long as you keep the dough properly made and properly baked, I think that the toppings should be whatever you fancy, really. And it might not be authentic, but if it is authentic to yourself, to your family, to your personal tastes, that's what matters. And I'm always open to, create a new tradition. Who knows? I mean, at the end of the day, taste, food is like language. It evolves continuously. So maybe somebody in the future will come up with a particular original flavor combination that will become the new margherita in the years to be. So, we shouldn't be afraid of experimenting, and we shouldn't be ashamed of putting a pineapple on pizza.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose there's a lot of places that you can get good pizza in the UK as well. In England as well now, Giuseppe. Back in the day, years ago, like to get a good pizza, you'd have to sort of fly to Italy, and But now there's plenty of places as well that have opened over the years. Is that something that obviously you're in the industry, but that's something I've noticed myself now. Any city or whatever, some nice places to go and eat.
For 26 years now, and when I arrived, it was, you could find some decent pizzas in London, but not in many other places. Now the situation is really, really different. I've had better pizza in some places in the UK than in Italy. Admittedly, sometimes it is actually cheaper to fly to Italy. Pizza over there.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't mean that you cannot get very, very good pizza in the UK as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. And we reflect on sort of pizza days. A lot of our listeners, no doubt, will enjoy a pizza. That's for sure. And I know there's sort of like an initiative around sort of the pizza. Can you maybe tell us a bit more about sort of your own experience as well?
Yes, absolutely. So today specifically, one of my favorite charities, a charity that I've been working with for years now, Mary's Meals, has launched an initiative very much in line with the vibe of National Pizza Day. If you don't know anything about this charity, if your listeners don't, I would strongly recommend looking it up online. Their website is marysmeals.org.uk. It's a charity that is particularly close to my heart because they look after children in the poorest countries in the world, and the way they do it is very clever, very effective and very efficient in that they sponsor schools meals for these children, therefore, luring them into school. And sometimes these kids go to school because they don't have anything to eat at home, and the school is the only place where they can get a free proper meal, which in many cases is the only meal they're going to have in the day. And the greatness of Mary's Meals is that they have got systems in place that allow them to stretch the funds that they gather up to a very, very large extent, in that with less than £20 they can sponsor meals for one child for an entire year. So considering that today is Pizza Day, what I'm recommending is that if you want to go out and have pizza, rather than going to one of the many chains that we've got on our high street, you perhaps try making your own at home, which will be much, much cheaper than anything you would pay to any high street retailer. And the money you save, you can redirect to Mary's Meals. And what makes a difference for you one evening for one meal, it might make a difference, a tangible difference in somebody's life for an entire year. So it's absolutely worth considering.
Yeah, and absolutely, that's a great initiative, Giuseppe. I think I'll definitely sort of check it out myself for sure. And that sounds really interesting. I'll have a look, and I would encourage any of the listeners listening in, have a look, check it out, and sort of go from there. And if anyone wants to learn more about your work, Giuseppe, or anything you do, or is there any way you want to sort of signpost them to where they can look and see more about what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So. I've launched my website a few years ago, and you'll find all the information about me on GiuseppeDell'Anno.com, and there is plenty of ways in which you can, approach Italian cuisine and Italian cooking. I hold baking classes here in Cheltenham, where I live, and there are plenty of ways in which you can get familiar to pizza and other delicious Italian things.
Yeah, absolutely, and I forgot to sort of congratulate you on winning the Bake Off as well. I didn't put that in the intro. That's yeah. You had my vote, Giuseppe. Absolutely, for sure. And that's really interesting.
Thank you very much. Yeah. It's been a while now.
Yeah, definitely. But no, it's good. It's good. I mean, I think it's I think things like we talk about like baking and other things as well. I think that just doing something like that is good, to do, is to get involved in stuff, I think it's good for creativity, getting out there.
100%.
Yeah.
Learning something new. I've made it almost a life mission of mine to get more people to cook and bake for themselves, for their family, for their friends. It's such you create such deep connections to food, because when you're offering the pizza that you've been making, for example, to your family, you're not just giving them fuel and calories. Effectively, you're donating the time and the effort that you've put into it. So it's a really powerful love language, and often much easier actually to access than anybody might think. People are occasionally put off because they think it's complicated, and there is a portion of media that thrives in making baking look an extremely complicated exercise. But if you keep it simple and go back to the basics, everybody can enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, thanks for that. Thanks for your time, Giuseppe, and happy Pizza Day. I think I'll have a pizza tonight to celebrate as well. Why not? Thanks for your time. Have a good day and a great week. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for having me, Jim.
Thank you. Okay, so I've got a really interesting guest coming up shortly. Today is, I believe, National